Last week, we heard the story of how Jesus withdrew to the desert and withstood and rebuked Satan's temptation for 40 days and 40 nights. Sometime after the baptism and temptation of Jesus, he was eating with a crowd of undesirable people. Among these undesirable people were some tax collectors. The tax collectors were hated by the Jewish people because they chose to work with the Roman government to enforce and collect unfair taxes from their fellow Jews. These tax collectors were the outcasts of Jewish society. When the religious authorities saw Jesus with the tax collectors, they criticized him for associating with traitors. Jesus responded to the religious authorities with a few parables about lost and unwanted people. A parable is a story with made-up characters and events, but a true message about who God is and how we can relate to him. Let's get ready. And this is a story from the Word of God. There was a wealthy man with much land and 2 sons. The younger of these sons came to the man and asked for his inheritance to be given to him today. And this is like a slap in the face to the father. But still the father agrees, and he sells half his land and he sells half his livestock, and he gives it to the younger son. The son took the inheritance and he went far away to a distant country. There he spent his father's money recklessly on prostitutes, on alcohol, on parties, and before long he had wasted his entire inheritance. With no other options, he found a job feeding pigs. And before long he envied the pigs because they had food to eat and he did not. The younger son came up with a plan. He had ruined whatever chance he had to return to his father as a son. But if he was merciful, his father might take him back as a servant. And he would at least have a place to sleep, and he would at least have food to eat. He would go home and say to his father, "I have sinned against God and against you. I am not worthy to be your son. Treat me as one of your servants." So he journeyed back to his home country, and he came to his father's land. And when he was still a long way off, his father saw him, and he ran to him. The father embraced his lost son with a hug and a kiss. He gave him new clothes and new shoes and a ring to replace the rags he returned in. He prepared a feast to celebrate the return of his son. The father was filled with joy, and he said, "My son was dead and now he is alive. He was lost and now he is found." But the older son saw his father celebrating with the younger son, and he was filled with jealousy. He refused to go into the feast, and he said to his father, "I have served you my entire life. I have never disobeyed you, and you have never given me a feast. Yet your son wasted your money on prostitutes, and you celebrate him?" The father said to his older son, "You are always with me, and all that is mine is yours. But now we should celebrate your younger brother. For he was dead, but now he is alive. He was lost, and now he is found." And this is a story from the Word of God.